Lately, as I get closer to being 40 years old, I keep thinking about what I want my life to actually look like. And it posed some interesting questions and debates that I have around the way that I've set up my creative business. For those of you who don't know me yet, hello, I'm Kat. I'm an artist and I've been working on my paintings for the past 15 years professionally. And this year, I'm celebrating 10 years of being self-employed. It's insane. In 2 months, I'm going to be 10 years in the game, and I honestly didn't even realize it until I started recording and saying this. So it's a lot to think about, and I'm sure I'm going to have more to say on this. But the reason why I wanted to record this video is in the past 10 years, I did so many things, and I don't regret any of them. I'm so grateful for the way that I set up my life. And if you're into human design, I am a manifesting generator, which means I am a multi-passionate person. I might switch careers. I might move through projects quicker than others. And if you're a manifesting generator, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People like us get bored easily, and it might be a little bit of ADHD. It might be boredom, whatever it is. It definitely makes me feel sometimes like I'm flaky, but I've been committed. And over the past decade, I've been building Create Magazine, which has been amazing. I've also been building my art career. And the past year, I moved into the shed, which I keep talking about. I converted a shed into a studio. Prior to that, I was in a city. And in the past 10 years, I've had crazy experiences, from losing my first business to growing it again, to having international shows and residencies, to connecting with collectors from all over the world. So many blessings, and of course, so many low points. Exhaustion, burnout, failed projects, they're part of the journey, and you really can't avoid them. You can learn all you want, but some lessons are for us to experience in real time. And so when I reflect back on the 10 years and I'm looking ahead into my 40s in the next decade, I'm thinking about what I want to do and how I want to live my life and what I want to focus on. And the other day I thought, okay, I co-wrote 2 books. I have built a magazine, which I love. I'm so grateful for. And I've been teaching a lot. I've been coaching for the past 7 years or so. And I realized I really just want to paint, and I want to do it with people who want to do it with me. And so I started my membership, Paint with Kat, which is very gently growing. I'm putting zero pressure on it. It's more of like a passion project / outlet, a place for me to share my process and inspiration with you all, and you can check it out in the show notes. But I thought, why do we do the things that we feel like we should? And to be completely transparent, all the projects that I had before, from my courses to my coaching programs to my books, they were created from the heart. And I, at the time of creating them, wanted to do them. It was a very genuine, authentic thing. However, as the years went on, sometimes I felt the pressure to keep doing the same things because I didn't want to seem flaky, and I didn't want to seem like I was jumping ship on something that I so strongly believed in 2 or 3 years ago. But the truth is, as humans, we grow and we evolve. And coming back to myself as an artist and having a more gentle, low-lift, more nervous system friendly lifestyle is something that I'm really, really dreaming of. And the past year, I've really dove into this new lifestyle. It's not fully transitioned yet. I still have some things that I'm closing the loops from the past that I need to close up. But overall, I've been spending more time painting, more time outside with my little easel, and enjoying being in nature, as well as kind of a slower pace of creation. And while I've taken breaks before, at the end of last year, I decided to pause on any major gallery shows, keeping my relationships with my galleries going, but really just say, okay, I want to make a body of work that I'm super proud of. I don't know how long it's going to take. It might take a year or 2 or 3 or 10, but I really wanted to give myself that chance. And building a sustainable business around my practice is really important. So that might look like prints, selling small originals, offering my workshops, and of course, Paint with Kat, a really accessible way to paint together. Art school, it can be really expensive and also time consuming. And so that is exactly what I'm doing, and I'm not hating it. It is a little bit weird to get used to it, and I think one of the reasons why it's weird for me is because I was a very high achieving person. I am someone who could create a course in 2 weeks, launch it, book it with 30 students, and show up on stages while writing my book, while recording my podcast and building my magazine, and while painting. I don't have that kind of capacity anymore. And I think part of it is getting older, part of it is getting wiser, and part of it just being smart enough to implement the 80-20 rule. And yes, yesterday I was writing a Substack article about low energy artists because I do from time to time have low iron. And let me tell you, your girl cannot get off the couch. It gets tough for me. And so I realized like, okay, well, if I'm going to have days like this, which I will, I'm a woman, so I have a cycle and some parts of the month might be more energetic than others. But also in general, do I want to be on? Do I want to be busy? Do I want to be traveling all the time? And the answer is, of course, no, I can't. I want to do it from time to time, but I cannot commit to that kind of pace forever. And what I wanted to share with you is that it's not a requirement. And the reason why I thought of that is one, the 80-20 rule, which is that 80% of results come from 20% of effort, also known as the Pareto principle. You can look it up. He was a scientist in Italy that researched the growth of peas, but it applies to so much in life. So much of our time is wasted on doing the things we think we should be doing versus the things that actually produce results, whether it's financial, in terms of joy, in terms of energy, or in terms of what our life purpose is, right? And the other thing is, of course, the Japanese principle of ikigai. And that is a principle of when you combine what you love, what you're good at, what people need, and what you can get paid for. And those are the things that I've been reflecting on. And those principles or ideas are not about doing more, being on all the time, being a super high performing achiever of all the things. It's a principle of working smarter and being wiser and being more efficient. And so I thought, how can I be the laziest, not in a bad way, but like laziest, intentional, gentle person who is doing what she loves, who's supporting people, but what ways can I do it more efficiently in? And for me, it means saying no to Zoom calls as much as I can, unless of course they're a paying client. For me, it is not traveling unless I want to or have to. For me, it also means getting like really clear on what of my programs or things that I offer are live and recording myself more like this, because honestly, I can serve so many more people. They can watch the recording later on, and saving my live experiences for something really special, intentional, and soulful that I actually want to do. So after 10 years of being self-employed, I realized like I've tried a lot of things, I've done a lot. Now it's time to prune and simplify and really lean into what is working for me, which has always been my paintings. Even if they don't work out for me financially, which that's the life of an artist, I always connect with people through my work. I find joy and fulfillment through my art. I get more ideas when I show up and paint. And I have this magic mantra that art is abundance. And whenever I paint, something good happens to me. It could just be a better mood. Sometimes we need that. It could be an email that I come back to, or a message from a friend, or a new idea, right? So those are the things that I'm reflecting on, but stay tuned for more thoughts and lessons from the past 10 years. And one thing I want to say to you before we close out today is, if there's something you're fantasizing of doing, why not? It can work. It might not work overnight. You might need to be intentional and build it out and give it some space, like planting a tree. It's not going to grow overnight, but if you keep watering it, if you keep protecting it, if you keep nurturing it, it's going to grow, right? So my next decade is going to be about patience, intentionality, a more gentle, slow living that honors what I want to do, not just what I want to get paid for, or, how many followers I have. Those things are nice, but they're not really what makes you go to bed satisfied at night. I want to go to bed at night just feeling like I've done what I wanted to do, and I talked to the people that I wanted to talk to, and encourage my community to do the same, and to know and trust that what's on our heart is possible. It's possible to do more of what you love, right? Because even though I'm self-employed, it doesn't mean that I always do what I want to do, right? Sometimes I agree to things that I don't mean to agree to. So that's something that I'm working on, getting clear on my own, commitments and my own agreements, and making sure that they honor the big picture and how I want to look back on my life when I'm 90. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments, and feel free to subscribe and share this with a friend. Love you so much, and I'll see you soon.